YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here with Watcher of Realms. So let's just go straight right into it, right? So everyone's been talking about the Wukong rates being just like not accurate. I experienced basically the exact same thing. Let's just kind of quickly run through this. So got one legendary. Let's see. Two legendaries. Let's see. Wait. Three legendaries. And then, wow, I can't even go all the way backwards, right? To where I pulled the remaining ones. So in total, I think I got Beatrix, Elowen, Zillitu, Valeria, Wukong. And let me see if there's any others that kind of snuck in there. Scroll to the bottom here. None of these, because I typically don't even star up these anymore. Beatrix, yeah, no. So basically, got 5 legendaries. I think I did around 600 pulls in totality, right? And one of them was Wukong. Now, mind you, it was going to happen regardless, right? We're all going to get a Wukong at around 200. But here's the bigger issue, right? It's much more than just Wukong's rates being broken because, one, we can all agree, right? 15x doesn't do what it needs to do anymore, especially considering if you look at the actual hero drop rates, right? You have these lords, and then you have this massive, ever-growing list of heroes in the summoning pool. 15x doesn't really translate to you having a good chance of getting these heroes. In addition to that, we already know, like, everyone knows this, there's different heroes that have different rates. Silas is probably in the ultra rare bucket. We know that Hotsit, wherever she is also in, here you go, right? Also in the ultra rare. Boreas is probably still there. We know that Comet's probably in that bucket as well. Overall, the chance, I think Elowen might be in the rare bucket because basically no one gets Elowen. So we already know like 4 or 5 heroes that are just guaranteed in that super, super rare tier of getting those heroes. We don't know the rates for any of the others. And then, mind you, one of the things that I feel like people don't discuss enough is the fact that Moonton has the ability to kind of go ahead and generate new rates whenever they want, whenever we're going ahead and pulling on these banners. For example, if they wanted to go ahead and make Boreas more common for one weekend, they could. We would just never know, right? There's no transparency in the rates. In addition to that, Wukong dropped, right? Everyone's trying to go ahead and get Wukong. Mind you, right? You could just be one of those people that pulled 500 times, got like A4 Wukong. Congrats. Go buy a lottery ticket, right? Just go buy one right now, right? But the vast majority of people did not get that same experience. So it just lets you know, if Moonton really wants to, they can go ahead and make Hotsit very, very common. Where is she? Hotsit. Very, very common for one weekend, and then change rate back. We'll, once again, never know. And the most obvious case of this happening actually was the Predus banner, in which, and I can't even begin to explain this enough, Predus is a super, super rare ancient lord. Nobody gets Predus, right? Let's see here. I pulled him recently. Here we go, right? No one gets Predus. But whenever they went ahead and did the Predus banner, everyone and their mother was pulling Predus. I remember looking at the log, right? And there was like Predus, 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 Predus. That doesn't make sense. Predus is super rare. And then I also pulled Ingrid right after, right? So that's just luck. But overall, the amount of Preduses that were dropping leading into Christmas does not make sense considering his rate. So what it means is it's very, very likely that Moonton did one of two things, right? They said, well, first and foremost, people aren't happy with what we're doing recently, right? With a summoning bug. And so they're going ahead and giving us a free ancient lord, or a free, not ancient lord, but a free hero. And predominantly people probably chose lords, right? So free lord pack. And then in addition to that, all the negative feedback that they've been getting over the last 3 to 6 months, they're like, okay, let's kind of like artificially inflate the numbers on Predus so everyone can get Predus and shut them up. Pretty much everyone that summoned pulled a Predus, right? I know some people that went ahead and pulled 4 Preduses in one pull. That does not happen ever. Do ancient summoning, that doesn't happen. So what it also just shows is, once again, Moonton has the ability to inflate the rates at any moment that they choose. In addition to that, right, they have the ability to make them lower whenever they want. For example, not really that many people right now are getting super lucky to the same degree that they were when they were playing for Predus as they are with Ingrid. A lot more people are going ahead and... Oh, looks like people are congratulating Slate. Oh, got Ingrid. That's cool, right? But overall, right, they can reduce the rates. People get less, so they're going to go spend more in hopes of getting the unit. Just like how for Predus, probably a lot of people spend a lot of money because they saw everyone in the chat buying, or probably summoning, right, and getting Predus. So they're going to go buy summons and get Predus as well, right? So overall, the rates were never real. If anything, the rates are always likely being artificially created week to week because they have the ability to do that with the 15x. They have the ability to do that within their internal coding and say, well, I want HOTS to be 1% and then 0.001% the next weekend, right? It's super possible. In addition to that, here's a little bit of headcanon. They even have the ability, most likely, right, to go ahead and create an if-then statement whenever they're making the codes, right, and say, if X account, right, has, let's say, if X account was able to go ahead and pull Wukong, right, if greater than 0, then rate is 0.02%, right? Or they could put if less than 0, rate to receive is 13%, 20%, and then eventually you'll get it, right? Because you're going to get to the 200. And after that point, your rate reduces drastically. They have the ability to go ahead and automatically generate that within their codes. Mind you, once again, you could be lucky and you could have gone ahead and pulled 400 times and gotten A5 Wukong. Is it likely? No. There's probably somebody that did it, right? I think Stormies was able to do it. So overall, the rates were never real. Moonton has the ability to change the rates whenever, and that's specifically why they do not go ahead and make the rates public. Is because they're probably actively changing the rates so that people spend more in hopes of getting the unit, and then they revert it back. I can't tell you how many times, like genuinely speaking, I can't tell you how many times I've gone ahead and summoned on the 15x, not gotten the unit. Not gotten the unit. I'll do like 300 summons. Twyla, 300 summons. 0. Nothing. Went to Pity twice. Nothing. I went on the 2x. They're not even running a 2x. I went on the 2x the next week. Did about 50 pulls. Got A1 Twyla. Right? Probably because they made the rates for her like super low on summoning day. And then after, they reverted it back to what would be a normal-ish rate. Now, I know some people say that she's still like ultra rare. Maybe. But you got to really think about it, right? They have the ability to change any rate in this game. There's a reason why it's not public. In addition to that, I know I'm saying addition because there's just a lot of things that are just wrong with the system, right? They can go ahead and just say, we're never going to release the rates. We will never know. And they can just continue this business model. Because ultimately, we're in the gacha game. They're going to go ahead and sell rates. Not heroes. They sell rates. They sell you the chance to go ahead and receive a unit. Not the chance to receive a specific unit, but a unit. And I think we have to remember that. So until they are able to make the rates public, there's not much that we can do. We can speculate, oh, this percentage, blah, blah, blah. Moonton's not going to care. They're going to continue to do what they do until it effectively and noticeably affects their profit margin. If they can go ahead and make a massive bag with the Predus banner by messing up with the rates, which, I'm sorry, no one can say that they didn't, especially given the data of how many people pulled Predus, how many people pulled Lords, compared, and specifically Predus during that time period. No, right? I believe if you like looked at the chat on the day of the Predus banner, everyone pulled Predus. Maybe 5%, 10% of people did not pull Predus in the time period of them summoning. That is remarkable, considering how every other 15x banner, if you like actually like pay attention to it, people will pull Leia, Morgan, Twin Fiend, Ajax, like a whole bunch of units that are not the 15x. So they mess with the rates. And that's all there is to it. See ya.